African milkbush, Euphorbia Bicompacta, Complete Plant Care and Growing Guide. SideGardening.com. African milkbush is also known as Euphorbia bicompacta, is common in the eastern and northern Cape of South Africa and is a perennial plant generally found on the side of roads and paths and along fences and walls. It prefers sunny areas where it can get full sun, and it's a hardy perennial herb. It grows in various habitats, including sandy soil, clay, and even shaded forest floors. It can grow in hot, dry climates and can even tolerate salty soils. Plant characteristics. A milkbush can be easily distinguished by its tall, bushy appearance and its dark green leaves, which are up to 7 inches long. It has short stems that are usually covered in a grayish-white waxy powder. The waxy powder gives the milkbush its common name, milkbush. In addition, the leaves have an unpleasant smell when crushed. The leaves taste pretty bitter if ingested, and they are extremely toxic. Milkbush habitat. The milkbush prefers to grow in hot, humid regions such as tropical forests, savannas, shrubland, and even coastal areas. It thrives in hot, dry climates with high humidity, but it can also survive in low humidity areas. Care and cultivation. Propagation of this plant is made through seed or from cuttings. When growing the plant from seeds, start your seeds early in the spring, so they have time to develop into plants before the weather turns warm. Alternatively, seeds need to be sown at least about 3 months before the first frost. Growing your plants from seedlings can take up to a year to grow to maturity, so buying a little more matured plant is better than starting your own. Indoor care. When growing the plant indoors, you can place it near a window or where your plant will be exposed to the most amount of sunlight and keep your indoor plant at temperatures between 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. The soil in your pot for your milkbush needs to be kept moist, so strive to add enough water so that the soil remains moist. This is particularly important if you have a young plant. Planting. The planting process for the milkbush is quite simple. First, you must prepare the soil, plant the seeds, and keep the soil moist until the seeds germinate. If you want to plant the seeds in pots, ensure that the soil is not too dry. Sowing and germination. Ensure that your soil is not too dry when sowing your seeds and strive to keep its soil moist with pH levels between 6.1 to 6.5, mildly acidic. The seeds will germinate within 7 to 14 days, and its environment will need to be kept at temperatures between 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Keep the seeds warm during this time, and then you can plant them once they have sprouted. Growth rate. Milkbush seeds can take up to 3 weeks to germinate, but they can also take longer. The seeds can either be direct seeded or they can be sown in seed trays and then transplanted into bigger containers. Height. The milkbush can grow up to 23 feet tall, but it can grow as low as 1 foot tall. Flowering. The flowers of the genus Euphorbia are reduced in size and gathered into a flower cluster called a cyathium. This characteristic is found in every species of the genus Euphorbia but is absent from the rest of the plant kingdom. You can expect to have your plants flower for about 6 to 8 weeks, and once the plants are fully bloomed, you should cut them back to encourage further and new growth. Sunlight requirements. Full sun to partial shade, partial or dappled shade. If you don't have enough light, then you should add some artificial lights. You should use a light source that has a high amount of light during the day. You should make sure that the temperature is not freezing. Toxicity. All species of the genus Euphorbia generate a milky secretion termed latex, which is toxic and can range in toxicity from mild irritant to lethal. Soil pH preferences. Slightly acid, 6.1 to 6.5, neutral, 6.6 to 7.3. Plant leaves. Succulent-like, evergreen, lime green with brown to maroon speckles or patches. Soil and transplanting. Ensure that the soil is well drained. If your soil has too much clay, then you may need to add sand to change the soil's composition. The soil for your plants should be kept moist, but it shouldn't be too wet when transplanting. Common pests and diseases. You shouldn't worry about the African milkbush because it is very toxic and may not be palatable to most pests. You shouldn't worry about the African milkbush because it is very toxic and may not be palatable to most pests. Some insects can still infect it, including aphids, caterpillars, ants, and whiteflies. If you notice any pests on your plants, then you should try to get rid of them by using natural means such as neem oil, which is derived from trees, has been demonstrated to attack insects, disrupt their growth cycles, and significantly reduce their numbers. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more informative videos. Thanks for watching.